Good evening, race fans, and welcome to PSGL's F11, where we go full screen and full throttle for your racing enjoyment. And my name is Webbo. I'll be your commentator as usual, and I'm on my own again, as has become fairly usual. But we're trying our best to get you a co-commentator for this league. You're very welcome indeed. Please let us know who you're here to support. We'll assume that the vast majority of people are here to support Franco, who comes to race today all the way from Australia, from Argentina, I should say, of course. Franco, a very popular driver among our audience. And yes, let's take a look then at the standings right now. So, in first place in our championship is Jibuk for the Mercedes team, who has had 3 wins now, including the last race out in Portimao in Portugal. He's also had 4 DNFs, but with 3 wins at a second place, he leads our championship from Yamo, who has 2 wins and 3 points finishes. Followed then by the exited FaZe Max, who's gone from the championship. Then Salad in the Red Bull, with 3 third places so far, and Huberto Mancini with 2 second places and some points finishes with 1 DSQ in the last round. Joni Mater is currently 6th but has resigned from the championship, is taking a break. And hey to Shani Jern and Matty for joining. Say no problem at all. It's great to have you all here. Do tell us who you're going to choose to support tonight. We've got Matty in 7th, Jamie in 8th. Jamie, one of our other race winners. We've got Franco. We've got Tsunoda in 9th. Sorry, Franco currently 10th in the AlphaTauri with a 2nd place last race out and a 3rd place to his name. And our other race winner is Giovi, who drives appropriately the Alfa Romeo. And in the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes head the field with 105 points, 28 clear of the 2nd place Alpine team. We have Aston Martin with Jim and Damon on board now on 62 points. Williams with Joni Mater and Vapor Shadow, who will not be racing today and haven't shown up recently very much either. They're in 4th place with Red Bull in 5th and Haas in 6th. So, coming out of the back of last week, we did have a couple of steward decisions to let you know about. Ahmed was promoted post-race to P9 after he was given a bogus penalty from the game, and Joni Mater was given a warning for contact with Enro. I hope that warning was not contributing to Joni Mater's disillusion with the game or league racing in general. Must apologise for a relatively poor turnout tonight, but I'm sure our drivers will continue the tradition of racing hard and fair and high quality for you nonetheless. So let's I'll let you know if anybody else shows up ready for the race during qualifying. We're out there to the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve in Canada, and for the latest race of our championship. 11 drivers will take qualifying to start with. Hopefully we'll get some more to show up, but 11 starters usually means we'll have closer to that in terms of finishing positions, because we tend to lose less drivers when we start with fewer, I suppose. So who are you here for? How many fans of Franco do we have? Can we get some of the traditional Argentinian flags showing up on our chat window? We've got some drivers out there already. I think it's, in fact, could even be Franco. It is Franco in the AlphaTauri, keeping the fans happy as ever. First out on track, and if he keeps the car pointing in the right direction, we will do him the honour of respecting his getting out on track first time. We'll do him the honour of following his lap as well. Quite a short lap around Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. It's got a street circuit feel to it, very narrow and treacherous in terms of track limits, certainly, and that little bit of Armco that sticks out under the tunnel always gives me great concern under braking, because I'm usually looking at my sector time. I don't know about you. Evening to Tom. Tom joins us in the chat. Great to have you with us. And Rindy Tech as well. So, and SpongeBob's here as well. So interesting to have you guys all show up. I haven't had a weather forecast yet. I'm hoping to get one. I'll just message our drivers and make sure they know to let me know what they're expecting. But it is, in fact, Franco beginning the first flying lap for us, and down the start-finish straight that becomes a quick turn. We've got rain falling in Canada, so it's now or never for our drivers. Franco could well have the very best moment on the track with his lap no end. This is brilliant stuff to see rain in qualifying at the very start. So turns 3 and 4 come at you very quickly. Always a surprise. And we get down to turn 5. Very slow corner, very difficult to get traction out of here. Nice and smooth from Franco. Doesn't get too close to the wall. This is a banker lap after all. And then under the bridge for the first bit of braking. Down into the chicane. Riding the curbs expertly from Franco. It's that psychological rain right now that fools you into thinking there's less grip, when it's near to dry conditions in reality. But the rain falling heavier on our screen, and we're away then down the back straight, down the Casino Straight, I believe it's very strangely called here, and into the final chicane. There's the Wall of Champions, and away to the start finish straight. And it's a 1:10.575 for Franco. Behind him on track we've got I think Ahmed completing a lap and doing it sideways, fighting with the McLaren of Florian, getting significant issues on the way out of the final chicane. Unfortunately, Ahmed and Florian coming together. Florian gets a 1:14.4. I think he had the worst of the track conditions further down there. We've got Salad just finishing his lap off, as we've got Franco, Jibuk, Jamie, Jim, Alex and Florian, your first pace setters. I'm expecting to see Matty head on past the start finish straight any moment. Let's see how Matty does. But that's a very strange moment with Florian and Ahmed obviously battling to get their laps out. That's an invalidation from Salad, and he'll be very annoyed with himself for that one, because like I said before, this is now or never. Yarmo is definitely struggling out of the hairpin. We may be on for a fairly short qualifying here. Unfortunately, it may be that if it rains and people have set times that that they retire from the session and we get underway for our racing. But Yarmo for the line then. Yarmo had a very prolific racer for F11, P7. Yarmo's always in or around the action, and he gets P7 currently. Huberto Mancini is on his lap. I think he's got his teammate just behind him. Huberto Mancini comes in. Jibuk coming in as well. And Salad has no option other than to try and push, and spins and wipes out the front wing. So he will not be going any quicker today. And I don't know if Huberto Mancini and Salad will decide to battle it out for the right to finish 10th, or whether our drivers will simply go ahead and retire from the session and give us a nice short night's racing. We're waiting on Tsunoda to join qualifying so that he can take the grid. So the instruction has gone out from Jamie, who's hosting the session today. Do not retire from the session until we have had Tsunoda join us. In terms, so Balakay asks about assists. In F11, assists are allowed to give the drivers to give them the experience of driving in this this prestigious league. The further up the grid you go in terms of the F number, the less assists are allowed. So the drivers will be racing some with lines, some with I think, well, certainly auto gears, I think, with traction control. I don't think braking control is allowed in this league, but you have every right to go ahead and compete to try and join the league in between season and at the mid-season sign-ups, as Alex is doing pirouettes in the Haas. I think that's a 9 out of 10 for style from me for that one. So yes, the drivers will be driving with assists in this league, but in other areas of PSGL, further up the F number, they will be racing with a lot less assists, of course. We are expecting a dry race, so hopefully we'll have a little bit less issues with drivers staying on track. But we've had that confirmed. We're expecting a dry race today. Alex on the way in needs to fix that front wing. Some drivers deciding to go out on inters just to get some experience, I suppose. So give us something to watch at least, which is good for us. Jibbock's out there. Jibbock heading the championship at the moment, also involved in the administration of the league, which I have to say is one of the best positions I have seen a league facilitator be running in their own league. It takes so much time and effort to run leagues for people. Make sure that you thank your admins, you thank your race stewards. I mean, you could always thank your commentators as well, I suppose, but make sure you have thanked the people that are running your leagues for you, because often they are giving up their practice time to get your racing days organised, and it's usually done out of the goodness of their hearts. Will there be an Xbox League? I don't think there will be an Xbox League, certainly not this season. I don't know if one will happen next season. PlayStation and PC are the order of the day for PSGL, but never say never. But that is where the bulk of the driver numbers can be found, are on those two platforms, in my view. Jibbock just running some wet weather attempts here. I hope he hasn't changed his setup, but getting used to some wet weather running. Franco has the pole position right now at 1:10.5, and thankfully we watched that lap, so we have the pole position lap on record, which is cool. Is this no commentary? That's funny. No shade on me, I hope, on that one, but maybe you just had it on mute. Yamo says this might be an advantage for the race because you can sit down for a bit. Do you stand to game, Yamo? Do you stand up holding a controller? Is that your preferred technique? I think we're still waiting on Tsunoda. And it says it is approximate weather forecasting. So Jamie says in the chat that things could dry out. It might not be fully dry race. I mean, we are in Canada after all. Franco under the bridge. He hits that bit of Armco I was talking about earlier, unfortunately. Where is our final driver to take the grid, I wonder? So Franco's time then is, what's it going to be? 8 seconds slower on intermediate tyres, and the rain's really falling significantly now. Further down the track, we've got Matti running as well. Matti in the Alpine. So Matti pits, and you get a look at the pit entry here. Very simple pit entry. It's only a matter of picking a braking point for the pit entry line. Some tyres going on the Red Bull, looks like, of Salad's car. Some warmers. Jim just encountering, I think, a Haas in front of him. Tsunoda joins, thankfully. So Tsunoda has joined our session, currently sitting in P11 with no time set. I don't know if he will head on out there, but it might mean that our drivers are given permission to retire from the session. Let's see. Salad has gone, so that he decides to lead the way in that. So we could save ourselves nearly 5 minutes as Matti follows suit. So does Franco, and I think our drivers will accommodate that request now with our 12th driver having joined. Yeah, apologies for the turnout tonight. I'm not quite sure what happened. I don't think there's some massive world event going on that everyone wants to take part in, but it's just a happenstance. Normally we have at least 17 drivers on a race. So Jamie's gone, and that should give permission to the rest of the drivers to head on out there and get our race underway. Tsunoda is on an outlap just to log his setup, I think. There's Tsunoda, car 16. Late to the party tonight. Across the final chicane then. He's going to run through and take his flying lap. Let's see what the grip levels are like for Tsunoda. Is this a bid to get into to secure P11, I wonder? Yeah, apparently Jamie says that people just simply haven't showed up, which they hadn't confirmed our lack of showing up, but there are penalty points for doing that. There are discouraging. We do have sanctions for drivers for doing that, so I'm sure they will regret their choices or give an opportunity to somebody else to enter the league. So Tsunoda did get the car to 8th gear. Look at the lockup on the front wheels, struggling to control the car in these wet conditions. Doesn't want to put a wet setup on, of course, because it's a dry race, or forecast to be a dry race anyway. Franco's made it to the chat, so I'm sure his fans will be wanting to engage as soon as possible with him. The front's locking, gets across the chicane to log a time. I think he's going to successfully make it through, and his time is a 1:20.5, so he gets into 10th position, which is arguably worse than starting 11th or 12th. But everybody will be on free choice of tyres in our race because everyone's been using the Inter tyres, or it's been declared a wet setting. Yes, I'm fairly certain it's not the real Tsunoda. Pretty cool if it was, but I don't think he'd be down down to race on a Sunday night every week. And we've definitely seen him on Grand Prix race weekends anyway. So half our field have retired from this session. The other half are trying to log a time, I think, at the moment. Ahmed, possibly, he's on the way to the pits. You can see just how easy that pit entry is. Very handy. Jibuk is running around still, doing times. No real problem if you do wipe the car out. The engineers in the game are exemplary and can turn a car around between quali and the race. Jibuk in the championship leading Mercedes team, along with his teammate here, Huberto Mancini. Not quite sure what Huberto's up to on the Casino Straight. So just going around to set the slowest possible time and secure his position as last on the grid. And it's a 2-minute 16.002 for Huberto Mancini. And no attempt at a quick lap whatsoever, of course. We will see the very dying embers of qualifying with checkered flag coming out right now. So anyone on a lap right now gets to finish it. I'm not completely sure what the point is. I can definitely promise you better action in the race. This has been a slightly sleepy qualifying session, and yes, no surprises to see the drivers just touring around, finishing up. Tsunoda trying to do a drift turn on the start-finish straight, and Jibuk looking to try and finish up the lap now, I'm assuming. Or is that just easy under AI? Mancini out there. Is he trying to put a lap in this time? No, I don't think so. Into the pits comes Mancini. So we still have two cars running to finish off their laps, and then we'll be underway for you. So, confirming your grid order, Franco with a recent strong run of form in the with the first time out of qualifying, of course, doing an amazing job to log a 1:10.575 in the driest conditions possible, followed by Jibuk, the championship leader, then Jamie, Jim, Matty, Alex, Yarmo, Florian, Salad, Tsunoda, Ahmed, and Huberto. Will be your 12-car grid for the race around Canada, and let's hope we have a nice clean one, and maybe it'll be quite a quick one. It's a quick track, and yeah, if our drivers can avoid too many caution periods, it'll be almost like a sprint. Franco with the lead towards turn one though, and looking to build on a strong series of results. Yeah, so the track's all dried up. It's a little bit overcast, but looks like we're going to have ourselves at least a dry start. Make sure that you've liked the video today, and you subscribe to PSGL. If you like racing and you like sim racing, there's no better place to be. Races all through 3 nights of the week, and I think something in the region of 18 competitive leagues running at different times. But make sure, of course, that you tune in to F11 with me, Webbo, if you like my commentary, you can follow me on Twitter at WebboRed5, where you'll see I'm running 6 to 7 races a week currently, and all over the place. So that's where you'll see my race broadcasts always posted on Twitter as we go live. But Franco in the lead then in the AlphaTauri. He's gone for soft tyres. The vast majority of the top group gone for soft tyres, but with 9th, 10th and 11th on mediums, this should give us something interesting to see in terms of strategy. Of course, everybody's tyres brand new, so they'll last that little bit longer than we're used to here in Canada. Jibuk wanting to consolidate a strong position in the championship. I don't know how much risk he's willing to take this round 10, whether he's looking to consolidate his position and make sure that he keeps scoring consistently, or if he's just hungry for wins. I don't know what kind of mood Jibuk's in. But Jamie, there's obviously a great opportunity for cars to score heavily today and do well in the championship with only 12 starters. Jamie just making a little bit of an error, overshooting his warm-up routine and almost hitting Jibuk. Jim in the Aston Martin, and we've got Matty in the Alpine there. The two Haas cars next to each other, so they'll need to be careful away from the grid. We know Jarmo likes to race hard and aggressive. We've got Florian in the McLaren, Salad in the white Red Bull today. I don't know how long the white Red Bull will stick around for. Tsunoda late joins in 10th, Huberto in 11th, and Ahmed will take the back of the grid for the Ferrari. So, grid almost assembled, and we're about to get underway. What are your predictions? Who's going to win? How many safety cars? What do you think, guys? And who will get the first penalty tonight? So, we've got the start gantry ready for you. Clutch in. We've got 5 lights on. And it's lights out and go, go, go at PSGL's F11 round 10. Franco away beautifully. Matty looking for an opportunity up the middle and a straight line situation. It looked like a dive bomb up the middle from an Alpine driver. Matty lost the car completely and speared, I think, his teammate, of all people, into turn 1. Looks like Salad getting a little bit loose and fast with the track limit rules as he is around the outside into turn 5 against Alex. I did see a flash-up penalty. We've got sideways action from both Jamie and Jim, so an absolute nightmare beginning for the Alpine team with the Aston Martin turn round as well, and all the way down. And Matty recovers to 10th now. I have no idea what just happened to Matty. That would not be in character whatsoever. I certainly wouldn't make the assumption that that was a deliberate action. I'm sure there was some issue in the braking zone. But Franco leads from Jarmo, who overtook several cars at the start. Jibuk's got a penalty already in lap 1. And we go through the final chicane, everybody just about safely. It's a 5-second penalty for Jibuk for presumably contact or corner cutting. And Franco is away then from the head of the field. Tsunoda trying to go round Florian, and they will go side by side into turn 3. Some weaving going on in the entry to 3 for some reason. Not quite sure. I thought for a moment we were under caution, but no. So Florian and Tsunoda very close on track. Tsunoda taking a wide entry into turn 4 and 5. So under the bridge to the inside. Bit of contact round the bollard. Can't see a good view of what's going on. We've got Tsunoda racing without a helmet, so there's that to take into consideration. Florian up the inside, trying to defend, but both cars will tackle the back straight, and it's actually Florian ahead. He'll need to defend, I think, into the final chicane. No late move there from Tsunoda, but Florian gets a penalty on the way into the chicane. Salad looking aggressive on Alex next, and looking likely to make a move. There's no way through around turn 3 or 4, but there will be an opportunity further around the lap for him to have a go at it. Franco now just 4/10 away from Jarmo. I know we've seen Jarmo and Franco close together on track earlier in this season, and hopefully they'll give us an entertaining battle. Salad just rubs that bit of arm coat on the way in under the bridge. But let's look at Jarmo and Franco. Franco using the conventional wide line through the hairpin. Jarmo a little bit tighter, perhaps with slightly better grip at this stage. 3-second penalties for Florian and a 5 for Jibuk. And it's Salad, Tsunoda. Oh, a move from Jarmo into the final chicane. Beautiful stuff. Very neatly done. And Franco quite cooperative there. He jumps out of the way as Jibuk comes on through at the same time. And I think perhaps the amount of cooperation Franco gave to Jarmo bit him in the momentum on the start-finish straight, because Jibuk got by as well. So Franco, with all the support in the world on the YouTube chat, possibly disappointing his followers. I know last time we were getting some very entertaining threats for Franco from his fans. They're kind of yeah, crazy fans sometimes. Whoa, round goes Jarmo into turn 9, turns the car around. He's dropping down the field because he's got a long run down to the hairpin to get his car back under racing speed, and it's down to P9 for Jarmo, who lost the car on the exit of turn 9. Very easily done around these curbs, and the lead changes hands once again, wrapped up in a present wrapping paper with a bow on it for Jibuk. And he's handed the lead. He's got a 1.4 second gap from Franco. Alex following behind Salad here, and again looking like he wants that place back. But Jarmo tumbling down the field down to P9 on lap 5. Well, part of the way around lap 4, wasn't it? And yeah, we've had a lot of cars with some out of character spins. I wonder what the track conditions feel like out there. Certainly the drivers will not be expecting, will not be in the rhythm of this particular set of conditions after qualifying. You can see all the leaves on the track there. Nice little touch. So lap 5 sees Jibuk and Franco and Salad, the top 3, followed by Alex, Florian, Tsunoda, Huberto, Ahmed, Jarmo down in P9 now. He's dropped another place. I wonder if he's got some damage potentially after that spin. It's easy to knock parts of the diffuser off going over the curbs. An attack from Alex for 3rd place on Salad. Salad trying to go around the outside and switch back. Will he get him into turn 3? Not quite, didn't quite get the overlap there. And a good move from Alex, completed through turn 2, but it was launched into turn 1. A nice view of the treetops from the helicopter for a moment. But Alex on the defensive, making Salad go the long way around as they approach turn 8. Through nicely. And now it's Florian who comes up on the back of Salad, and it's Salad's mediums will be starting to feel probably better than the soft tyres around him, as the 5-lap-old softs are starting to lose their best. Big defensive move from Alex, but Salad gets the inside, gets the DRS, is passed already on the way into the final chicane. Little tap from on the back, and Alex perhaps lost some aero on the way out, hit the wall. Any damage, Alex? I can't see anything visible, but I'm sure there'll be at least an orange or a yellow damage on that front wing. He did touch the wall at a relative strong speed on the way out, but yeah, completely losing grip on the exit of the final chicane. He's now vulnerable to Tsunoda, who gets by very easily. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Alex suffering the effects of that downforce loss from some damage he's just taken. As around the outside comes Huberto, forced onto the inside line. We'll pick up a warning for that one. Possibly, no, he didn't pick up a penalty. He just gave up that warning because of the track positioning of Alex, who now has his teammate Jarmo, who's made it up to 8th again, right behind him. Jarmo on a charge as ever, and looking to get back towards the big points. Jibuk has picked up a penalty overall with that 5-second one. We've got Florian on a 6-second one. He's just got past Salad. So Salad's suffering a little bit at the moment from getting past. Obviously he recovered the place he lost to Alex, but Florian getting by. Salad will try and get that inside line, but you see the difference in traction. Beautiful example there of the difference in traction out of turn 2 as he loses ground on the medium tyres. Of course, these fresh softs, as I said before, lasting a little bit longer than you'd expect, and the drivers trying to stretch the field as much as possible to lose as few spaces as possible as they attack their first pit stops. Drivers giving the walls a fairly wide berth on the way through. A lock-up on the inside front for Florian. Might need to just dial back that brake bias, unless he's needing to preserve the rears. Salad still close. Ahmed looking pretty close to Jarmo, but you'd fancy that Jarmo's got the better pace at the moment based on qualifying and championship history. Salad with a big amount of apex cut through the final corner. I don't know if that's going to affect him, but we'll be looking to see the soft tyres probably starting to die off around now, and we'll look for any dramatic losses in pace. A reminder that it's Salad, Tsunoda and Huberto on mediums. Jarmo is pitted already, so burnt through those tyres and is heading down the field, but probably looking to action an undercut on the other soft runners around him. Remember, he was between Alex and Ahmed before. Jarmo, the first pit stop of our race, but Matty and Jamie also on medium tyres. Ahmed's now catching Alex as well, further back down the grid for 7th place here. And we'll see if any of our leaders choose now to go into the pits. What about Jibuk? No, not from him. Franco looked like he was going pretty straight on towards the pit lane. Neither Salad nor Florian go in, which I'm surprised that Salad didn't go in. I would be expecting a driver stuck behind another to head into the pits. Ahmed goes in, though. Ahmed from just behind Alex pits now. This is for a potential 2-stop, according to AWS. So lap 10 before the first pit stops for the majority of the field sees Jibuk, Franco and Florian your leaders, from Salad in on mediums, Tsunoda and Huberto, followed by Alex and Jim on softs, and then having pitted Ahmed and Jarmo. So Jarmo did not undercut Ahmed through that exchange. Matty and Jamie, perhaps Jarmo taking a little bit of damage repair in the pits. That's way more of a gap than I would expect after taking the first pit stop. Jamie is in the rear of the field right now, 14 seconds back from his teammate Matty, who had that massive drama at the start. I don't know how much damage are the Alpine team carrying tonight after that first lap set of incidents. I'd love to know. Sadly, we don't have enhanced telemetry availability on this league. So it looks like Jim getting past Alex, who pits. So a pit stop for the second Haas car right now. And the closest battle is this battle for third place between Florian and Salad. We've got 10 laps gone. Starting to approach 1/3 distance of our race. Very good that we've not had a safety car yet, which is encouraging despite all the contact and damage that we have seen suffered. Salad hoping for that DRS. There it is, open. It's a little way back. You see the gap drop by about 1/10 every second or so. Still no pit stop. However, it looks like Florian and Jibuk have gone in. So Salad and Florian staying out 1 lap longer. Well, certainly Salad will, but Florian staying out 1 lap longer than Franco and Jibuk. Perhaps just stretching this stint as much as possible. Franco and Jibuk looking to be coming out of the pits around the 5th, 6th, 7th mark. Looks like Jibuk needing to dispose of Jim very quickly, and does so beautifully through the turn 3-4 chicane before they get down here into turn 6. Another penalty for Jibuk, just over the top with the entry, just a little bit of oversteer across the apex, and a penalty for Jibuk will negatively affect his race, especially after taking that 5-second penalty in the pits. So that's making Franco's job that little bit easier. Franco needs to race around now as clean as possible without penalty, and so far that has only been achieved by Salad. Florian has got 3 lots of penalties. Salad has got past Florian now on this lap, so the best indication we've had yet that the soft tyres have had it with just Florian. I think, is it just Florian left? And Jim, who have not pitted, but they've both lost places on this last lap, so really way past time to head on into the pits for these guys. I think they're probably waiting for a safety car to rescue their strategy, but it's not happened yet for them. Yamo in P8 now, 2 spaces ahead of Alex, so made the undercut work pretty well for himself. We've got so far just Salad, Huberto, Franco, Alex and Matti without penalty. How Matti does not have a penalty, I'm not quite sure, unless he served it in the pits. But in terms of that first corner incident, certainly wouldn't mind watching that one again from a few angles to see what went down with him. Florian now has Tsunoda catching him. Florian running 12 laps on the softs, so going very long indeed, wanting good mediums for the end of the race compared to the rest of the drivers around him. But as things stand, he's going to be behind the cars coming out on softs, so he's drifting backwards in terms of race pace at the moment. Jim pits, end of lap 12, so it's Florian the only standout driver. Come on, this must be a pit stop time, Florian. You simply can't keep the car, get the car stopped into the corners. So definitely I think Florian will be heading into the pits and has left it 1 lap too long. Massive hesitation through the turns 8-9 chicane, down into the hairpin, inside front locked again. So currently your medium tyre starters are the leaders of the race, Salad, Tsunoda and Huberto. Florian stays out again. Maybe he's hoping the tyres go through that graining stage and don't, and will come back to him, but he's clearly going backwards in terms of overall race time right now. In terms of warnings, yeah, let's have a look. Penalties. Florian now just caught his 12th second penalty there, unfortunately. So Salad 0, Franco obviously 0, but Tsunoda with 3 seconds, Florian on 12, 3 for Jibuk and Yarmo, Ahmed with 6, so is Jamie, and Jim on 8, 5 of which I'm guessing he just got going into the pits for a pit stop, for a pit lane speed limit violation. Huberto now on the back of Tsunoda, can't quite get close enough, but I'm sure we'll be ready to make a move very soon. Very encouraged by the drivers being able to keep the cars running. All 12 starters still with us at the halfway point. Salad in the lead, yet to make a pit stop from Tsunoda and Huberto here. And further back and dropping back on now 15 lap old soft tyres is Florian. I'm not quite sure what he stands to gain running this long. Obviously the only thing that will rescue his race now is a safety car. He drops behind Franco. I think he's having an issue. I think cars just piling on past Florian here. Franco and Jibuk getting by. Franco and Jibuk, your de facto leaders of the race after the first pit stops, will be complete from the front 3. And currently only half a second separating the 2 drivers. Franco still in the lead, of course. I mean, you have to add 3 to Jibuk's gap, but the best way he has of nullifying that penalty will be to get past Franco and gap him. And here comes the attempt down into turn 1. They go side by side. Jibuk takes a large amount of entry curb to stay on track. That was a penalty for Tsunoda and Yarmo. That's not going to help Yarmo's fight back up the field. Wow, Jibuk with so much better a run through turn 4, almost runs into the back of Franco. That was an ERS assisted pass, I'm sure, but surprises Franco into turn 6, and a great move by Jibuk for the de facto lead of the race on lap 17. Jibuk, commanding move, gave no option to Franco, and a very clean, very fair overtake in an unconventional part of the track. Jibuk trying to extend his lead of the championship right now. So they come on out of the turn 10 Lepingo hairpin, the most hairpin looking hairpin I think in the whole of the race calendar. Franco trying to counter attack but can't quite get close enough, and I think we'll see Jibuk up, head on up. We've got the first pit stop for the medium starter car, Huberto Mancini, on the same lap as Florian pits from his soft tyres. So Florian obviously making his tyres last pretty well, but I don't think he was quick in the last 2 or 3 of those laps. What tyres does he go on? Huberto chose hards from the mediums, wasn't confident in the tyre life of the softs, so he's going for a one-stop race, with potentially Florian trying to do similarly, but he's now gone on to mediums. So attempting one-stoppers. Drivers in this championship free to choose how many stops they make in the race. Obviously at least 1 for any dry race condition, but they can choose to make more than that if they wish, if their total race time looks good. And if we're under racing conditions, there's a good chance Huberto can make these hard tyres work and keep them in the operating window. Florian on the Franco on the rebound, comes back around on DRS assisted. Jibuk picks up a penalty across the line, across the final 2 corners, unfortunately, and there he goes, making his job doubly difficult now than it was before, especially after losing a place to Franco. And kept his foot in on that corner for just that little bit too long, and Franco and Jibuk exchanging places once again. And as I said before, for the de facto lead of the race. They're currently in 3rd and 4th, but Salad and Tsunoda are expected to make a pit stop fairly soon. Jibuk's car looking a little bit lively under traction there. And we'll have a little look at the ERS situation. Around 33% for Jibuk, 67 for Franco. So hasn't spent very much, and he's keeping it go. Yeah, looks like Salad and Tsunoda, as Avatar mentions, going for a one-stopper. We'll see. Surely that's in their plan, but they'll have to. We saw that lap 12 was about the limit for the soft tyres, so that's the target, is around lap 23 for the drivers. It's lap 20 now, so can they get 3 more out of these mediums and try and one-stop this one? Matty enjoyed that one from Franco. A few races ago, it was win or there'll be bullets for you, or something like that, coming from the Argentinian Franco fans. They're coming up to tackle Tsunoda here. This is an opportunity for both drivers as Jibuk goes up the inside. Boxed out of it was Franco with the manoeuvring of Tsunoda. Defensive Tsunoda just opened the door for Jibuk, who now gets a run under the bridge and gets past. And that was championship leader style racing from Jibuk. That was perfection, and that's how you make traffic work for you. It wasn't a lapping situation, it was a fading medium tyre situation from Tsunoda. Tsunoda may well come back into this race later on if he's running this one-stopper. Jibuk might be trying to run these tyres on to the end, but he'll be slower at the end of the stint, of course, than any soft runners. Franco gets past Tsunoda, so the 2 drivers before the pit stops are up to 2nd and 3rd now, and this just makes the job all that more hard for Salad, Tsunoda and Huberto to tackle the cars at the end of the race. So it's now lap 21. We'll expect pit stops shortly from Salad, Tsunoda. Everybody else probably running to the end on the tyres they're on. Florian is down in 11th, but is on soft tyres, so a lot of gap to make up from Florian here. I think he's made 2 stops already, so he's not only did he run those softs at the start very long, he ran the mediums very short, and he's expecting another very long lap on the softs from Florian. Has he made a mistake? Or no, just an overspeed from Jamie getting into the pits. And Jibuk now for the actual lead of the race. Easy pass on Salad, expecting a similar run from Franco in the next zone. But Jibuk back into the lead of the race, lap 21, and trying to build the gap to Franco, but the gap needs to be 6 seconds or more in order to keep the win. And he'll need, I think Jarmo has got his way up to P5, so Jarmo really the closest driver on the same pit strategy as these drivers. He needs to be 6 seconds faster than him, and he's already over 9-10 seconds from the next driver. Let's have a look at his current lead. There goes Franco past Salad. Easy job with those old tyres on Salad's car. It's about time for the ideal pit stop for soft tyres. I'd still probably, personally, I'd leave it another lap if you can, and go for 12 laps on the softs, but 13 could well happen. You just see that moment when the tyres let go. We saw it earlier on the soft tyre runners. We've got a yellow in sector 3. All cars running, so it's a temporary yellow, I think. Salad stays out for that next lap, as we mentioned. So it looks like also Florian coming out of the pits again. No? Interesting, I saw a very slow orange marker on the track map for a moment, but I think that was possibly just blame it on my eyesight, shall we, rather than a glitch. So Jibuk with a 6-second penalty, is currently 5.2 ahead of P4. But we do expect pit stops for those drivers. He's 9 seconds away from the nearest threat after Franco. But he's got 1 second of a gap, and he's got about 12 laps to go to build up a further 5 on Franco. We'll see what kind of pace he's got. How hard does Franco wish to push to try and keep the win? There's a big question here. Whether the drivers can actually make this one run to the end on these medium tyres is the other big question. So currently 11 laps for the leading pair. 14 on Yarmo's car, but add 12 to that, and that's a difficult stint with soft tyre runners coming out, and a safety car would of course ruin everything, especially if it comes out just after the leaders have gone round the start-finish straight. But Jibbuck in the lead by 1.2 seconds now, 1.3 seconds maybe. Another penalty for Alex speeding in the pit lane. Is this the precursor to a retirement, I wonder? I hope not, but Florian has gone. He's retired early. He's just gone to the pits and retired, sadly. Looks like Jim is in. Alex is in still. Alex has put tyres on medium tyres for the end of the race and will come out. So there will be points on offer for the majority of our racers tonight. Now we've lost Florian. Fastest lap currently residing, well, with Jamie, just as he has got those soft tyres up to temperature. That's going to annoy Jibbuck, who just had it a moment ago. But the gap's just opening up before we see the pit stops. There goes Salad into the pits. From lap 25 he made it, so he can have an absolute monster of 10 laps on those soft tyres. Tsunoda comes in as well and will do exactly the same, so he'll come out and be quick, but he'll be a long way back from the lead. Comes out with 22 seconds roughly to the leader, with 10 laps to go. That's a big ask to get back on the podium for Salad, although the penalty of Yarmo will help that task. So, all the pit stops now potentially made. Jibbuck, Franco are your leaders from Yarmo and Huberto, then Salad. Tsunoda and Almeida together for Ferrari. 6th and 7th, and 8th is Alex. 9th and 10th, the Alpines together, Matty and Jamie, after something of a dramatic race. And then Jim is at the tail of the field right now. He is a minute and 8 back from the leader, and the first likely to get himself lapped. Although he's on soft tyres, so he might sprint away from these guys, or more likely they will have issues with a fast ghosted car that they can't quite pass comfortably. Matthew asks why there are only 12 runners. Just a happenstance tonight, I'm afraid. It's just the way the cookie crumbled. But even if we started with 20, I'd probably be fairly happy with 11 running with 9 laps to go around Canada, frankly, mate. So I don't know whether we just we end up with a similar amount of finishers. We'll see how things work out. Franco not letting Jibbuck get away here. He's still within DRS, and the longer he can stay on DRS, the more likely he is to take the win after penalties, and the easier he can run it without trying to track extend to too great an extent. Through the final 2 corners, Jim, fastest lap, 1:11.0. So that's about all he can likely get out of tonight, but he'll need another car to retire. I think he's too far back from Jamie, is he? Let's look at penalties again. Well, no. Yes, he is too far back, pretty much. He's only got a 3-second penalty delta. So, Salad is looking quick, isn't he? Now down to 3/10 away from Mancini. Completely different tyre choice here grip levels are astronomically different. New softs for bedded in hards on the Mercedes. So I expect Salad to make fairly light work of Mancini's car. Alex gets a fastest lap, another 1:11.0, this time for Alex. Salad gets by before he even needs DRS. Kind of overshot his braking slightly there. Needs to be careful not to pick up a penalty and invalidate the work he's done. He's almost within penalty range of Jarmo now, almost back on the podium. So I'd be very pleased with that. And I think Salad in clear air could well get close potentially to Djibrk's time. Remember that Djibrk and Franco's tyres will fade off pretty dramatically with a couple of laps to go. So Salad needs to run qualifying laps every lap successively now. Yeah, Jarmo's 9 seconds. It is a bit confusing, but it's they've crept up. I don't think it's a glitch this time out. I would imagine Jarmo will appeal to the stewards if he feels like something has gone amiss. But we have to take the race finish at face value unless we see something blindingly obvious like a formation lap incident. Salad running hard and just rubs the wall, and Jarmo's just secured that third place pretty much for Salad with another penalty, now up to 12. So Jarmo a little bit leery today. At the exact moment Salad was touching the wall with his rear left. Salad should be quick now though, and expect fastest lap attempts from Salad here. Djibrk has got the gap out to just past DRS. Has he? No, not quite. It just keeps dipping in and out. But Djibrk has got that inherent slight, very slight pace advantage over Franco at the moment. Franco was saving more ERS last time we looked, so let's go and check that one out. 35%, 32%. It's evened up quite a lot. So Djibrk wise to that one. Wouldn't surprise me if Djibrk's listening in on the stream and was aware that Franco had underused relative to himself the DRS. Tsunoda, talking of DRS, has just got himself into range with those soft tyres on Huberto as well now. Tsunoda 17 seconds faster than his teammate right now as Matti finally completes the set of penalised drivers. So we just have Franco and Salad without penalties so far. Tsunoda not going any slower for a lack of a helmet on the car. Will he launch one in here or wait for DRS? Well, it's not exactly waiting as he tries an undercut and rubs the back wheel of Huberto. Here comes Tsunoda then. DRS, soft tyres, easy traction. Simple pass. But earned and undoes his work by shortcutting the chicane and catching another penalty. Up to 12 seconds now for Tsunoda, and in all likelihood he's going to be deposed by a significant amount, certainly one place to Huberto. Salad has got the gap down to 7 seconds to Jarmo, but his pace not quite strong enough to action a move. Speaking of though, Franco back within half a second of Djibrk, so Franco doesn't want to let him get away, would rather win this on the road compared with Djibrk. We'll see if he can make it stick. 5 laps to go now in our race. This is the moment where you will see the dramatic moves and the accidents where drivers' grip levels exceed their expectations. Grip levels don't exceed, the opposite of exceed. Jamie's out of the session. Jamie, DNFs. Will that be a safety car? He's right in the middle of the track. There, you just saw him from Jim's car. He's taken a corner off the car. It's 5 laps to go. Will we see a safety car throw the... Yes, we will, folks. A safety car right at the end. Just after I'd said we're about to see our drivers' grip levels dropping, and that has changed this race significantly. That has given this race up to Salad and Franco racing without those penalties. Now that's where the penalties come into play massively. There's even potential for Mancini to get himself on the podium if he can stay within range. Alex pits. Who else? Anybody else pitting right now? Just Alex at the moment. So Jibuk stays out. We've got Ahmed, Alex, Matty all in the pits from the lower end of the grid. I would imagine Jim comes in. Yeah, Jim... No, Jim doesn't come in. But Jibuk and Franco will enter the pits from the head of the field. What does Yarmo do? I imagine he'll do the same. Everyone will go for a new set of softs who isn't already on one. And that will help Franco and Jibuk to defend from the possibility of Salad, and particularly Huberto racing with only 3 seconds of penalties, I think. Is that right? Let's remind ourselves. 3 seconds for Huberto, but 12 each for Tsunoda and Yarmo. And with a 6-second penalty on Jibuk. So Huberto only needs to stay within 3 seconds of his teammate to potentially get himself on the podium. So this one has got a sting in the tail for you. It's lap 32 of 35. We'll probably end up with a 2-lap sprint at the end, and I won't know where to look because drivers get crazy on a 2-lap sprint at the end. Jamie said he just binned it. Simple as. Wish you could get some luck in the last few races. Well, keep battling, Jamie. Hopefully you'll be back with us stronger next time out. And hard lines tonight. That's a crushing moment for you. Losing it with 4 laps to run. So sorry to see him out. Everybody, I assume now, gone on to soft tyres. Yes, so everyone on brand new soft tyres. Don't need to be looking at that. It's all about penalties and intervals. The end of our race. I don't think that Jibuk and Yarmo are going to thank Jamie for that that interruption to the running at the end of the race. It just completely nullified all the work they'd done to extend the gaps to show their race pace at the end. Everyone will start with 2 laps to go, presumably. Although that Aston Martin from Jim is a long way back. I think the safety car has to come in at the end of this lap by the race logic anyway. We won't finish the race under safety car, so we will have a 2-lap sprint. And I need everyone's help on the chat to spot any incidents, because this is going to get fireworks at the end of this one, and it's going to be very hard to see what goes on between the drivers up and down the field. Obviously all the gaps closing up. That Aston Martin needs to catch the tail of the field in order to maximise his race potential. Like I say, I still think Huberto has a shot here of the podium, and it depends what the other drivers decide to do. Do they think with their penalties there's no point battling, or are they just fairly stubborn kind of guys that would rather undo someone else's race than see them prosper? I don't know. Safety car confirms it will be in this lap, whether Jim has caught the tail or not. But it will be a decision for Jibuk as to when to go, and I hope Jibuk goes early for our sake, because we will have the minimum amount of incidents as a result. But the longer he leaves it, a good opportunity is of course in the middle of the final chicane when no one else can accelerate or pass you. But trying to get a view now of when Jibuk decides to go. All the cars condensed. The speed is building, so there won't be a quick jump. I think he does indeed go on the way out of the final chicane. What Tsunoda was expecting as he comes on to challenge Salad into turn 1. It looks like that's the big move. Overshoots the corner, keeps the car just within track limits there, Tsunoda, and takes Salad. Salad didn't fight it too hard, but he's hanging on into turn 3. This one could get nasty. Just about hangs on as he hits the wall on the way out. battling hard. Tsunoda comes back on him on the inside, and a better run Salad has on the inside exit of that corner, and he's just ahead as they head towards the bridge. Tsunoda going for a very late braking move, misses the chicane partly. Salad catches another penalty, and it's Jarmo just 1/10 behind Franco, taking him up the inside of the hairpin, and they battle away here. Franco will not be impressed with someone with 12 seconds of penalties trying to overtake him and spoil his victory parade. Franco on the defensive now from Jarmo. Franco slow through the chicane. Jarmo had that one perfectly, gets by fairly simply there into the start-finish straight, and further down the grid it's all happening as Salad is still fighting with Tsunoda. Keeps the car just about between the white lines. We've got Alex at the inside of Huberto behind him. Huberto trying to hang on here, and there's a big moment. Looks like Jarmo out of the race. We saw all the Haas. He's not out of the race. He's still running. He turns the car around. Wow, miraculous to not go out of the race in those conditions, and he turns the car around. But we're about to finish the race at the front of the field. It looks like it's all over for Jarmo. I can well expect Salad and Huberto to get themselves up towards the podium here. Tsunoda's got a huge gap behind him though. That's going to spoil that one, with Franco and Tsunoda having Franco having gapped Tsunoda significantly. This one will not be all over until the penalties have gone through, but good grief, what a race we've had on our hands, especially the sting in the tail in Canada. Jibbuck will cross the line first, but it will be Franco who takes the win in Canada, round 10 of the championship. We'll have Salad getting third position, Alex in fourth, followed by Matti. After turn one, Matti gets fifth position, amazing. Huberto gets sixth place at the end. I thought he'd be a bit higher, but Jim in seventh gets ahead of Tsunoda, Ahmed and Jarmo at the tail of the field. Jim was running around, almost lapped, and he gets seventh place at the end of this race. Jarmo 12 seconds back, no front wing, straight lines the chicane, finishes the race for the final point, and must be absolutely gutted. We saw the front wing being run over, we cut back to him, and there he was, turned around. Wow, what a dramatic Canadian race we've just witnessed. Hard fought, very close racing. Salad gets driver of the day from Anthony Davidson and the game. Matti supporting Franco, and Franco will take the top step, not for the first time this championship. And Franco from the championship leader, Jibbuck. Franco wins in Canada with a beautiful drive tonight. Hard fought, well-deserved victory for AlphaTauri, for Argentina. And Jibbuck will take the second place gratefully at the head of the championship, with Salad third for Wales and Red Bull. Congratulations to our podium tonight. Brilliant stuff. Jibbuck asking if he can report a 5-second penalty removal. I would think that's unlikely. Yeah, Krypton confirms that it is not. If you've served it, you cannot have it removed. But the fastest lap did go to Jibbuck in second place. Franco wins the race. Salad gets driver of the day in third place from Alex for Greece and Haas. Matti in the Alpine. Huberto, Jim, Tsunoda, Ahmed, Ferrari drivers in 8th and 9th. Jarmo, we saw dreadful end to the race in the Haas. Then Jamie and Florian, we lost earlier in the race, and will pick up no points from tonight's racing. Tsunoda says he didn't do any practice at all, so he'll take what should have been P3. Okay. Alex saying he should have had a podium. Lots of should have, could have, would have kind of messages. Some arguments about late race contact. Jim says just a mess on his part. Jim, you got 7th. I mean, I don't think you can be unhappy with that result. Take it. So Jibuk is kind of contesting it, but the ruling so far is that a serve penalty cannot be removed. Well, I hope you enjoyed that today. I hope if you were on the fence about whether to like the video, you've decided that at great cost to yourselves, you would be generous enough to press the like button. I hope you will. I hope you will subscribe to PSGL and tune in to our race next week. I hope that you've enjoyed the commentary. If you have, then you can follow me at WebberRed5 on Twitter. And otherwise, make sure that you tune into the other PSGL races through the week. There'll be another one on right now live. There'll be more races on Thursdays and I think Mondays as well, Monday nights. So make sure you check out the previous races to have an idea about when the next ones will be up and running. And otherwise, guys, it's been a pleasure. Really enjoyed it tonight, and thank you for all your inputs. Thank you to everybody who runs the league. And as I say, I've been Webbo, and I will catch you on the next race day.